ഹലോ എവ്രി വൺ, വെൽക്കം ബാക്ക് ടു കേരള ഹിന്ദി ക്വസ്റ്റ്. ഇത് നമ്മൾ വന്നിരിക്കുന്നത് KTET എക്സാം എല്ലാ കാറ്റഗറീസിനും ഒരുപോലെ യൂസ്ഫുൾ ആവുന്ന എ സെറ്റ് ഓഫ് ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസുമായിട്ടാണ്. ഓരോ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യനും കൃത്യമായി കേട്ട് ആൻസർ ചെയ്യാൻ വേണ്ടി ശ്രമിക്കുക. അപ്പോൾ നിങ്ങൾ ഈ ചാനൽ ആദ്യമായിട്ടാണ് കാണുന്നതെങ്കിൽ ഇതുപോലുള്ള കോമ്പറ്റേറ്റീവ് എക്സാംസിനായിട്ട് ചാനൽ ഒന്ന് സബ്സ്ക്രൈബ് ചെയ്യുക. അപ്പോൾ നമുക്ക് വീഡിയോയിലേക്ക് പോകാം. ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ നമ്പർ 1. എ ഗുഡ് ആൻഡ് ഫെയർ യൂസേജ് ഓഫ് മലയാളം hinders a student from pronouncing English words correctly. This is an example of a good and fair usage of Malayalam hinders a student from pronouncing English words correctly. This is an example of options: positive transfer, negative transfer, zero transfer, vertical transfer. Answer is option B, negative transfer. Question number 2. Which among the following is not an approach of KCF 2007? Which among the following is not an approach of KCF 2007? Options: importance to learner-centered education, teacher's role as an authority in classroom, facilitates cooperative and collaborative learning, based on cognitive constructivism and critical pedagogy. Not an approach na choichekkundu. So answer is option B, teacher's role as an authority in the classroom. Question number 3. Intelligence is the aggregate or global capacity of an individual to act purposefully, think rationally, and deal effectively with the environment. Who defined intelligence in this way? Options: David Wechsler, Stern, Woodworth and Marcus Terman. Answer is option A, David Wechsler. Then question number 4. A student with an IQ of 100 belongs to. IQ of 100 belongs to options: superior, average, dull, moron. Answer is option B, average. Question number 5. In the Right to Education Act 2009, the responsibilities of schools and teachers are mentioned in. In the Right to Education Act 2009, the responsibilities of schools and teachers are mentioned in. Options: Chapter 1, Chapter 2, Chapter 3, Chapter 4. Answer is option D, Chapter 4. Then question number 6. The eating disorder in which a person overeats and then induces vomiting is. The eating disorder in which a person overeats and then induces vomiting is. Options: anorexia nervosa, binge eating disorder, bulimia nervosa, pica. Answer is option C, bulimia nervosa. The next question. The concept of insight learning was introduced by. Options: Kohler, Pavlov, Skinner, Thorndike. Answer is option A, Kohler. The next question. The 3 stages of teaching, pre-active, interactive and post-active, were proposed by. The 3 stages of teaching, that is pre-active, interactive and post-active, were proposed by. Options: Osabel, Gagne, Jackson, Vygotsky. Answer is option C, Jackson. Next question. According to Piaget, formal operational thinking is characterized by. Options: abstract and hypothetical thinking, intuitive thinking, centration, thinking only about visible objects. Answer is option A, abstract and hypothetical thinking. The next question. Which is not a characteristic of an emotionally intelligent person? Not a characteristic of an emotionally intelligent person. Options: understand others' emotions, recognizes own emotions, must have IQ above 140, regulates emotions effectively. Answer is option C. Must have an IQ above 140. The next question. Which of the following is not a method of verbal learning? Which of the following is not a method of verbal learning? Options: paired associate learning, serial learning, free recall, insight learning. Answer is option D, insight learning. The next question. The law of readiness was proposed by. Law of readiness was proposed by options: Gardner, Kingsley and Gary, E.L. Thorndike, Henry P. Smith. Answer is option C, E.L. Thorndike. The next question. Sensory memory related to touch is called. Sensory memory related to touch is called. Options: iconic memory, echoic memory, haptic memory, short-term memory. Answer is option C, haptic memory. Next question. Which teaching method is most suitable for teaching factual knowledge to a large class in a short time? Which teaching method is most suitable for teaching factual knowledge to a large class in a short time? Options: lecture method, heuristic method, demonstration method, project method. Answer is option A, lecture method. The next question. The concept of general G and specific S factors of intelligence was proposed by. The concept of general and specific factors of intelligence was proposed by options: unitary theory, anarchic theory, Spearman's two-factor theory, Thurston's group factor theory. Answer is option C, Spearman's two-factor theory. The next question. According to Piaget, adolescence belongs to options: formal operational stage, concrete operational stage, pre-operational stage, sensory motor stage. Answer is option A, formal operational stage. Question number 18. The chairman of the steering committee of NCF 2005 was. The chairman of steering committee of NCF 2005 was. Options: Professor Yashpal, Rohit Dhankar, Dr. Kasturi Rangan Kothari. Answer is option A, Professor Yashpal. Next question. Which is a characteristic of a good teacher? Which is a characteristic of a good teacher? Options: promotes self-learning, plans lesson systematically, promotes democratic values, all of the above. Answer is option D, all of the above. That is, a good teacher promotes self-learning, plans lesson systematically, promotes democratic values. The next question. Difficulty in muscle control and coordination is known as. Difficulty in muscle control and coordination is known as options: dyslexia, dysgraphia, dyspraxia, dyscalculia. Answer is option C, dyspraxia. The next question. Analytical, creative and contextual intelligence are part of. Analytical, creative and contextual intelligence are part of options: Cattle-Horn theory, Sternberg's triarchic theory, Gardner's multiple intelligence theory, Vernon's hierarchical theory. Answer is option B, Sternberg's triarchic theory. The next question. Learning that is acquired by not shown until reinforcement is given. Learning that is acquired but not shown until reinforcement is given is options: insight learning, latent learning, social learning, verbal learning. Answer is option B, latent learning. The next question. Forgetting previously learned information after learning new information is. Forgetting previously learned information after learning new information is options retroactive inhibition, proactive inhibition, repression, time lapse inhibition. Answer is option A, retroactive inhibition. The next question, which of the following affects learning? Options motivation, level of aspiration, learner characteristics, all of the above. Answer is option D, all of the above. Motivation, level of aspiration, learner characteristics, all three influences or affects learning. Then, next question. A child develops fear of parent who repeatedly punishes him without reason. This is an example of a child develops a fear of a parent who repeatedly punishes him without reason. This is an example of options classical conditioning, law of effect, positive reinforcement, motor learning. Answer is option A, classical conditioning. The next question, the ability of a test to produce consistent and stable scores is called. The ability of a test to produce consistent and stable scores is called options standardization, reliability, validity, mean deviation. Answer is option B, reliability. Next question. The forgetting curve was first proposed by options Pavlov, Skinner, Ebbinghaus, Levin. Answer is option C, Ebbinghaus. Next question. Which teaching learning strategy encourages arguments both for and against a topic? Which teaching learning strategy encourages arguments both for and against a topic? Options seminar, project, debate, lecture. Answer is option C, debate. The next question. A boy believes everyone notices the ink stain on his shirt. This is an example of a boy believes everyone notices the ink stain on his shirt. This is an example of options personal fable, imaginary audience, identity crisis, delinquency. Answer is option B, imaginary audience. The next question, which is least desirable in the teaching learning process? Which is least desirable in the teaching learning process? Options demonstration, effective lecture, scolding and punishing students, use of blackboards. Answer is option C, scolding and punishing students. The next question, operand conditioning was proposed by operand condition is proposed by options Ivan Pavlov, B.F. Skinner, Woodworth, E.L. Thorndike. Answer is option B, B.F. Skinner. The next question, which theory of transfer of learning was proposed by Thorndike? Which theory of transfer of learning was proposed by Thorndike? Options theory of generalization, theory of identical elements, theory of ideals, theory of insights. Answer is option B, theory of identical elements. The next question, which is not an advantage of computer assisted instruction, that is CAI, which is not an advantage of computer assisted instruction. Options easy handling of multimedia, easy practice of MCQs, immediate feedback, provides counseling for mental health problems. Answer is option D, provides counseling for mental health problems. Next question. Development is lifelong and skills can improve throughout life. This idea belongs to development is lifelong and skills can improve throughout life. This idea belongs to options behaviorism, lifespan perspective, constructivism, Psychoanalysis. Answer is option B, lifespan's perspective. Next question. According to Bandura, learning mainly occurs through According to Bandura, learning mainly occurs through options trial and error, observation and imitation, classical conditioning, insight. Answer is option B, observation and imitation. Question number 35. Which psychologist proposed the hierarchy of needs? Which psychologist proposed the hierarchy of needs? Options Freud, Maslow, Piaget, Skinner. Answer is option B, Maslow. Then question number 36. The psychoanalytic theory of personality was proposed by The psychoanalytic theory of personality was proposed by options Erikson, Piaget, Sigmund Freud, Brunner. Answer is option C, Sigmund Freud. Question number 37. Social constructivism is mainly associated with Social constructivism is mainly associated with options Piaget, Vygotsky, Thorndike, Pavlov. Answer is option B, Vygotsky. Next question. Which learning theory emphasizes reinforcement? Options operant conditioning, insight learning, gestalt theory, cognitive theory. Answer is option A, operant conditioning. Next question. Adolescence is marked by options declining physical growth, rapid biological and psychological changes, complete emotional stability, absence of peer influence. Answer is option B, rapid biological and psychosocial changes. Next question. Which is a major characteristic of emotionally intelligent learners? Which is a major characteristic of emotionally intelligent learners? Options high IQ only, ability to regulate emotions, excellent memory only, fast writing speed. Answer is option B, ability to regulate emotions. Next question. Which memory stores visual information briefly? Which memory stores visual information briefly? Options echoic memory, haptic memory, iconic memory, long term memory. Answer is option C, iconic memory. Next question. The main objective of learner centered education is options teacher domination, active participation of learners, rote memorization, punishment based discipline. Answer is option B, active participation of learners. The next question. Inclusive education mainly promotes options segregation of learners, equal learning opportunities for all, special schools only, competitive exclusion. Answer is option B, equal learning opportunities for all. Then question number 45. Which intelligence helps a learner understand his or her own emotions? Options interpersonal intelligence, intrapersonal intelligence, spatial intelligence, bodily kinesthetic intelligence. Which intelligence helps a learner understand his or her emotions? Answer is intrapersonal intelligence. Question number 46. Which intelligence helps a learner interact effectively with others? Which intelligence helps a learner interact effectively with others? Options intrapersonal intelligence, interpersonal intelligence, musical intelligence, naturalistic intelligence. Answer is option B, interpersonal intelligence. Question number 47. Which psychologist introduced multiple intelligence theory? Which psychologist introduced multiple intelligence theory? Options: Sternberg, Gardner, Spearman, Thurston. Answer is option B, Gardner. Question number 48. Which classroom environment best supports effective learning? Which classroom environment best supports effective learning? Options: fear and punishment, democratic and cooperative atmosphere, strict silence at all times, teacher centered instruction only. Answer is option B, democratic and cooperative atmosphere. Question number 49. The most important quality of an effective teacher is? The most important quality of an effective teacher is? Options: encouraging independent learning, depending only on lectures, giving frequent punishments, ignoring learner differences. Answer is option A, encouraging independent learning. Then last question, that is 50th question. The development of hypothetical deductive reasoning occurs during. The development of hypothetical deductive reasoning occurs during. Options: sensory motor stage, pre-operational stage, concrete operational stage, formal operational stage. Answer is option D, formal operational stage. അപ്പോൾ നമ്മൾ ഡിസ്കസ് ചെയ്ത 50 MCQസിൽ ഔട്ട് ഓഫ് 50 എത്ര സ്കോർ ചെയ്തെന്ന് പറയാം. അപ്പോൾ ഇനി വളരെ കുറച്ച് മണിക്കൂറുകൾ മാത്രമേ എക്സാമിന് ബാക്കിയുള്ളൂ. അപ്പോൾ എല്ലാവരും നന്നായിട്ട് പ്രിപ്പയർ ആയിട്ടിരിക്കുമെന്ന് വിചാരിക്കുന്നു. ടെൻഷനൊന്നും അടിക്കാതെ കൂളായിട്ട് ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസ് ഒക്കെ നന്നായിട്ട് വായിച്ചു നോക്കി എക്സാം എഴുതുക. ടൈം കീപ്പ് ചെയ്ത് എഴുതാൻ വേണ്ടി ശ്രമിക്കുക. നെഗറ്റീവ് മാർക്ക് ഇല്ലാത്തതുകൊണ്ട് എല്ലാ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസും അറ്റംപ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ മറക്കരുത്. അപ്പോൾ ഈ വീഡിയോ യൂസ്ഫുൾ ആയിട്ട് തോന്നുകയാണെങ്കിൽ ലൈക്ക് ചെയ്യുക, നിങ്ങളുടെ ഫ്രണ്ട്സിനൊക്കെ ഒന്ന് ഷെയർ ചെയ്ത് കൊടുക്കുക. കൂടുതൽ ക്ലാസ്സിനായിട്ട് ചാനൽ ഒന്ന് സബ്സ്ക്രൈബ് ചെയ്യുക. അപ്പോൾ കോമ്പറ്റേറ്റീവ് എക്സാംസിൻ്റെ പുതിയ ക്ലാസ്സുമായിട്ട് അടുത്ത വീഡിയോയിൽ കാണാം. താങ്ക്